Hello Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, and I just want to say first of all a massive thank you to every single one of you. We do put different content across all those social media channels, so make sure if you want more of what you've seen and you like it, get yourself involved, subscribe to YouTube definitely. Please like our Facebook page and follow us there, and obviously Instagram, you'll get photos and that sort of thing put up there too. This episode, I'll call it an episode, this clip is basically me, Kev. I'm the videographer, photographer and editor for Shadow Seekers Investigations, and I have recently just released our first debut episode, and I've had some fantastic feedback. I really have, and feedback doesn't always have to be positive. I need to know what it is that my audience genuinely wants. The initial creation was put together by myself and Mark when we did the asylum in Manchester, and we gathered some great evidence and we made some great footage, and I wanted to put it together as a story. So first of all, Mark wanted to research the history of the building, and he wrote out a script which I got my wife to narrate. To my wife's disappointment, and to some of you, her voice had a little bit too much echo on it. That was me, that was post-production, and I just wanted it to sound a little bit ethereal, a bit spooky, that sort of thing. So I'm going to dial that down. I'm going to take that on board. I'm going to listen to you guys, and for the next episode we will have more narration from Naomi, but it will have less echo effect on it. One of the difficulties that I've got is that I have a massive telly. I've also got huge speakers, I've got a big subwoofer, and I love sound. And when I'm producing these episodes, I'm producing it with me in mind, which is selfish, because most of you guys and girls possibly will be watching it on a mobile phone or a tablet, so you won't get the same sound experience that I do. Therefore, I need to calibrate for that and kind of make, but if I do put music on, I need to reduce the bass a little bit, because a few of you have said that your mobile phones have distorted with the sound that I've put to it. In addition to that, on the topic of music, some of you have said that you weren't keen on the music. Some of you have said that it was too loud in certain places. I want to just explain that a little bit. Let me just fast forward this to where I actually started using music. So we've got Naomi's narration bit going on throughout the slideshow of photographs. Then we will eventually cut to Mark and I doing our actual first part of the investigation. So on here you've got a mainly talking section where we are gathering evidence in this room, and we, as you probably know, we got an EVP, an electronic voice phenomena, and it was amazing. Now, I started putting music in at that stage because I wanted it to create a little bit of drama, a bit of tension, a bit of interest, and then I continued the music. The reason I continued the music was simply that we didn't capture anything else, so there was nothing actually for the audience to listen to. However, listening to you guys feeding back to me, I now realise that you don't mind that I can actually have the confidence to let Mark and I witter on and sort of call out to the room, and you won't get bored, and you'll actually be still engaged and listening with us. So moving forward, I don't feel the need that I have to fill silence with a soundtrack. So that's that. So that's the music section. Again, it's music that I make and produce myself. I'm not a fantastic musician. I do the best I can. So the reason that I produce it myself is because otherwise we just have to pay copyrights and stuff. Or you get some twonky music which you can get free of charge from YouTube, and I don't feel that it's appropriate at all for the content that we're putting out there. Other feedbacks that we've had. Orbs came up in somebody's comments, and we've not really focused on orbs. We certainly haven't mentioned them in this episode. We may do in future episodes. Now, it was suggested that orbs need to be filtered through various light spectrums in order to verify that it is something that is unusual in nature, rather than just using full spectrum or infrared to detect an orb. I've personally watched and really enjoyed a lot of other paranormal channels, and I've often seen, sometimes to hilarious kind of conclusion, people freaking out over specks of dust, over moths, and other objects that kind of fly around that get caught in night vision, in infrared spectrum. Now, the thing with infrared is we can't see it with our own eyes, however our camera equipment can. And when you've got particles of dust, maybe feathers from pigeons, a lot of the locations we go to are full of pigeons, it's easy to go, oh look, it's an orb, it's an orb. And I remember one actually, which was a really great episode of some people investigating the ancient Ram Inn, which, if you don't know what that is, you, you need to. It's one of the most haunted places in the world. It's in Britain as well. So they were freaking out over this orb that was moving around the room. I freeze framed it, I looked at it, it's a moth. Now, I've no objection to that. I'm not saying that those investigators were falsifying anything. Quite the contrary. You know, we see and hear many things when we're out on investigation that at the time we can't explain. Later on we debunk it and we say, no, actually that was caused by raindrops falling onto a cellar roof, or it was caused by a window being open and making a door move, or whatever the case is. I personally will always go to great lengths to disprove any evidence. What I can guarantee you is that future episodes, including this episode, there's stuff I can't explain. Now, in all honesty, that's down to you guys to explain it, or to believe what you want to believe, or to put whatever spin you want to put on it. I'm not going to tell you what to think. And neither would Mark. Mark is a spiritualist. He knows that the paranormal exists. He knows that the spiritual realm is a real, tangible thing. It's not a belief for him. It's just as plain as I can look at this TV and know that I'm right next to it. He sees things like that. So he's trying to gather evidence to prove to you that it exists. That's his motivation. My motivation is I love looking around empty buildings. I love histories. I enjoy filming. Sometimes enjoy editing, although it takes bloody hours. But yeah, I have an open mind to stuff. But just because I've got an open mind doesn't mean I always jump to thinking, oh, I can't explain it, it must be paranormal. I don't know. That's for you guys to comment. And please keep commenting. I want us to build a community, basically. I want YouTube, Facebook and Instagram to be a way that we can have an open dialogue with each other. And you can ask Shadow Seekers, you can ask us what we think, where we're going to go, what we're doing next, all that sort of stuff. There'll be episodes that I'll do with Mark and possibly with Christine from the Haunted Toolbox as well, where we will go through the equipment we use, and we'll have Chris, hopefully Chris, I haven't even asked you about this yet, explain the technology behind it, what it can detect, what it doesn't, all that sort of stuff. So that's all coming. Other feedbacks we've had, that's when we get the EVP with yes, that sent chills down me. And some of these things, I've got to say, you almost have to be there, because I know that we didn't make that sound. We might get other people coming on, I'll go, come on guys, one of you whispered that. No, we didn't. Similarly, later on in the episode, right near the end of the episode, when we do the Ouija board session, one of the urban explorers that we met got up and left the room. Not long after that, behind the camera, quite a long way behind actually, it was about 5 metres away, one of the REM pods, one of the motion detector devices, was going off. Now when I was editing, I was getting paranoid. I was thinking, is the audience going to think that that's that other guy who's sort of snuck around where the camera can't see him, and he's... No, that didn't happen. And there's going to be an element where you're going to have to just trust us. We will never bullshit. I promise you that. We will never bullshit. There's nothing winds me and Mark up more than watching other people's YouTube channels where you rumble them for bullshitting. Won't happen with us. If we have an episode where fucking nothing happens, then nothing happened. So, other feedback that I've had, yeah, sound recordings. I've got, let me just forward this a little bit. I've got a number of devices that capture sound, and whoops, I'll just leave that playing on a slightly different clip, otherwise this isn't going to be as long as the episode. And those devices are very sensitive. As you know, I've already said, I record my own music and stuff. So I've got studio quality microphones and that sort of thing, and one of those microphones is a portable unit. I've got hours and hours and hours of capture on that. Now, I haven't got enough time in my day to sit with headphones and analyse carefully every gap between what we say. I can't do that. However, I've had it suggested by comments, which again, like I say, keep them coming. Why don't you slow it down to like 40% time lapse? Because a lot of spirits make communication far faster than we can actually hear. So they'll be in the upper band of frequencies, and it'll be over in a split second. So you've got to slow that shit down. And really, I don't have time to do that. What I will do, Mark and I are going to be putting together a Patreon site, and part of that Patreon will be I will upload the whole WAV recording, the whole high quality recording of everything we capture. And for those of you who are really, thankfully, anally, geekily interested, and I want you, please analyse it, please feed back to us, please get a section and say, Kev, Mark, listen, at section 5 minutes in, 29 seconds and 2/24, whatever it is, there's a noise there, have a listen, I slowed it right down. Do that for us, get involved. Get involved. First episode, I'm 90% happy with it. It was a little bit rushed, me editing towards the end, because Mark has built up a massive Facebook following, over 3,500 followers since December. So, again, thanks for that. But many of you have been saying, well, when are you putting out an episode? Where's the content, you know? We don't want just trailers, we want... So, yeah, I had to pull out all the stops, and yeah, there's times I was working pretty much through the night. I'm working in 4K, which is a massive format to edit with. It's a huge format to upload, even when you've got broadband. It's very cumbersome. I'm using multiple different cameras, multiple different microphones, and to mesh all that together, I've had to download different programs. I'm not the most tech-savvy guy in the world, but I'm pretty happy with where I've got. What I can promise you is, with your help, our episodes are going to get better and better. The content's going to get better. As I said, I want everyone to get involved. I want you to talk to us. When we get the Patreon site launched, membership, I don't know, start from £2 a month or something, up to maybe a tenner. Let us know. The more money we get paid, the harder we will work to satisfy that pay grade. At the moment, we're getting nothing. But we're doing it because we want to. And like I say, on the Patreon, you'll have the opportunity to dissect everything that we do. We'll also put on extra bits and pieces as well. I haven't actually thought it out fully yet. This is evolving, and I want you to evolve with us. So, this is me wandering around doing one of my lone vigils. As you've probably gathered, there are elements where I have a little bit of built-in comedy. I actually giggle quite a bit when I'm watching some of this through, because there's a section there. If you haven't watched the episode already, I'm not giving any spoilers, but I will say this, where I say, I call out to the room that I come with total respect, which is got a cliche which we've picked up from multiple other ghost investigations that I've watched on YouTube. And then I sort of talk to myself, saying, I say I come with total respect, I'm skulking around the ladies' toilet at night. I love it, honestly. So, again, feedback, subscription, follow us, let us know. I'm going to leave it there. Alright guys, thank you very much.